Audio test 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, to my understanding, audio should be transmitting appropriately, hopefully. Okay. Uno momento. Okay, boom. We're here. We're live. Back looking at cryptocurrency. Currently, hello and welcome back to the stream here on the EngineeringRobo channel. We're going to be looking at coins primarily. Could be companies and or commodities. Whatever anybody wants, honestly. Anyway, let me transition. Crypto on the screen. Hopefully, we got Bitcoin at the moment here interacting with my key levels, horizontal levels of support and resistance to consider that have been slapping us around for a good amount of time here recently. Watch out for overhead resistance at the moment. We were hoping to find support along $19,800 pretty much, a psychological level to consider. 2017 all-time highs. We're currently slipping beneath it at the moment to a level that we were watching out for pretty much ever since sort of like July here, when previous support was found along it. $18,860 per Bitcoin is going to be the more significant technical level that we have been considering kind of leading up to it here, hoping to hold along to 2017 all-time highs, but we go with the flows of our confirmations here, watching out for our Robos, which have returned to a bearish state ever since the 20th of September. This combination of Robo advisors has technically been suggesting you heavily consider reducing any sort of Bitcoin swing trades you might be looking to partake in. We can comfortably and confidently get into more significant sort of like short-term bullish price action here if bullish Robos were to come back into play. At the moment here, we got to go with the flow of bearish confirmations. Bearish at support, though, technically. So, I mean, if we were to hold for a few more days here, pump back upward, we still would need those bullish Robos to return here, but though we are at support. So, I mean, holding along it is not impossible, and we can kind of hope for that with a more bullish perspective in mind. The overall uptrend is still intact. I do believe Bitcoin go up almost no matter what, but what go up no matter what must go not up sometimes. And so in the short term here, bullish buy opportunities will be presenting themselves. The lower that Bitcoin goes, I do believe the more bullish of a buying opportunity it would be. When we reveal the fear and FOMO zones here, we can look at factors that contribute to a potential bottom here at current levels. At the moment, this could be the bottom for Bitcoin, though down below we actually can consider, not visualized on this chart, but pretty much a $10,000 Bitcoin to present itself here based on some other confirmations we will go over shortly. But Bitcoin attempting to find itself out of this range of sideways. We've been trapped in this sort of price action ever since pretty much the middle of June, when we fell beneath newly visualized resistance overhead here. This level I drew very recently. $24,295 per Bitcoin was the resistance that we found throughout July into August of this year here, though it wasn't visualized until just recently. So if we were to return up to it, that would be the price of significance to consider as a potential resistance here. We would need candles interacting above it to confirm it as support moving forward. And so bearish Robos here have saved us from some pretty dramatic corrections that have occurred ever since 2021. All-time highs up near $69,000 per Bitcoin. It would appear 44 and 58% corrections occurred following bearish Robos toward the end of these consolidation phases here. You can see bullish and bearish confirmations coming in and out of play during this aggressive range of sideways. Many investors, traders, and individuals are buying Bitcoin at all times, I find it very difficult to be bearish on Bitcoin in any sort of extreme sort of manner here, though getting shaken out and getting wrecked is kind of what needs to happen. So anyone accumulating along a significant support level will eventually be wrecked, kind of thing. So whenever you think it's the bottom, it's probably not. And so I personally suspect Bitcoin to bottom off of a awkward looking lower low. Like, I do believe that anyone accumulating along this significant horizontal level here currently is going to be wrecked here in the short term. Perhaps a rather aggressive dip to an awkward price that nobody could really expect, and then perhaps a sudden dramatic recovery to the upside here, allowing for one final extremely bullish buying opportunity to get into Bitcoin here. Any sort of dramatic lows that we experience, in my opinion, I don't believe will be, I believe any sort of downside that occurs here will be rather short-lived. And so I don't think we'll be trading in these low teens to high tens for any amount of time. That is going to be a price level that presents itself very briefly here for us. And we will likely return back to current prices very quickly. In my opinion, though, we go with the flows of cryptos. Bullish robos during a range of sideways back in 21 have seen 56 and 42% pumps to the upside here. So we can hope for that once bullish robos return. And then prior to 2021, if you remember the cough crash of 2020, everything sort of dipped here aggressively, violently, and awkwardly, correlating with some key zones that we will reveal in a moment here. This very aggressive dip was the last buying opportunity for Bitcoin before it proceeded to experience 10x in gains, kind of thing. If you were to consider like 6K to 69K, roughly 10x in gains before finding a sort of like topping phase and coming downward here. So, in my opinion, a retracement in what is a very bullish and healthy longer-term uptrend. We're going to reveal the fear and FOMO zones here that suggest why you can technically be accumulating Bitcoin pretty much anywhere under $40,000 with a lifetime sort of like more broad sort of uptrend in mind. So the fear and FOMO zones, one moment as well, though, as I take a sip from my hot chocolate on a warm summer day. Alrighty, that was excruciatingly hot, and my mouth is burning. So this is the fear and FOMO zones here. We've seen this several times here over the past streams, returning to aforementioned previous all-time highs. 2017, we created that swing high near $19,800 per Bitcoin, currently returning to it after printing that $69,000 all-time high in 2021. Big difference between our most recent all-time high printed and the most relevant one to us back in 2017 there was we have yet to see the FOMO zone. As you might be able to tell, the FOMO zone all the way up there near roughly $200,000 per Bitcoin. So that is going to be a far more reasonable and comfortable range to be taking profits on your longer term Bitcoin investments. Don't sell all of them, but capitalize on those gains. Funnily enough, if you were to think like 20K to 200K, that's another 10x from this current potential buying opportunity from here in the fear zone. If we get back up to the FOMO zone there, when we get back up to the FOMO zone there, I do believe we will very much interact with a six-figure Bitcoin, though only when we are ready and not a moment sooner. So at the moment here in the fear zone, as you can see, this is the third fear zone interaction since our FOMO zone all-time high back in 2017. The FOMO zone is going to very much contribute to the significance of any rejections and downside following price action in that range. And so what brought us into the fear zone for the first time following that 2017 all-time high, I do believe, was the FOMO zone, and that actually led to an 84% correction from that all-time high, 19,800, all the way down to roughly $3,000 Bitcoin into 2018 there. Entering the fear zone up relative to the range beginning kind of thing. So Bitcoin printed 45% in downside into the fear zone, pushing it from 5,800 down to that $3,000 low. It traded sideways within the fear zone for over 170 days before rallying its way upward out of it into the trading range, which you're not eager to be jumping in and out of in heavily and heavy investor-based manners. It wasn't until the cough crash correction of March 2020 where Bitcoin returned to the fear zone here briefly, trading within it for just over a month, printing yet another 45% correction relative to entering the fear zone. So after two fear zone interactions, two very, very bullish buying opportunities, accumulating Bitcoin under 7K, down to 4K, 3K kind of thing. I'm sure you could imagine, how bullish of a buying opportunity that would have been if you knew that Bitcoin was going to proceed to, rally upward here into the $60,000 range. Upon breaking previous all-time highs in 2017, you can see we traded along it briefly. I remember these days here. This was a funny time in crypto. Everybody buying the breakout, and then we got into the Elon Musk phase near 30K. Elon Musk was like, "Now I'm gonna buy Bitcoin," and then it went to 60K, and then he's like, "Just kidding," and then it went back down to 30, and then it went up to 60 again, 69, nice, and then now it's coming all back down. All the regulations, all the governments getting involved, all the things going on. It's coming back down. So. Going with the flow here, we got to go through. We got to have fun in the highs. We got to survive through the lows. So we accumulate here during times of extreme fear. You want to be heavily considering buying Bitcoin at a dramatic discount if you've been hesitant to up until now. I'm sure you could imagine buying Bitcoin at 69, nice. $1,000 and then having it immediately proceed to experience downside here all the way down to lows near 17,000. And so eventually even people that bought the all-time high back in 2017 became profitable, even if it took years. Eventually everyone who buys Bitcoin will be in profit eventually, like I said. But, big old but, hope I don't get demonetized because I said but so many times. If we have not found a current bottom at price levels here, so the 45% correction has occurred relative to our most recent fear zone interaction here. As I mentioned, buying Bitcoin under like $36,000, $40,000 is a bullish price to be considering accumulating for the longer term uptrend here. But the $10,000 Bitcoin that we are considering would correlate with an 84% correction following our most recent all-time high. So $1,000 per Bitcoin. If that were to experience 84% in downside, that would push us to the $10,700 Bitcoin that traders, I do believe, have been hypothesizing or prophesizing. I've been hearing and reading about like a flash crash down to these lows for several other reasons that people may have. But technically, this is a price to consider that is correlating with technical factors that I am keeping in play here because I personally go with the flows of the technical confirmations. Fundamentally, lots going on, obviously, but that is a whole different realm of investing. A true analysis is a seamless combination of both technical and fundamental aspects, but they are very different spectrums of the game here. Some people heavily discredit technical analysis. They don't believe in it at all. It has no There's no reason for it to exist. I mean, I almost agree because at one point technical analysis had to be like argued in play. Like there's no reason why people were selling at this price in 2017, but they're now buying at this price in 2022. So technically no reason for that to be happening, but because people believe it does, they become the people causing it to happen. If you think people selling at this previous price, they're now going to be buying here, you now become the people buying here at the previous price that they were selling at. But anyway, what was I saying? The 84% correction from 69, nice, to 10K, that would play out if it were to come to fruition similar to previous all-time highs. But why I don't think that is the case, we're keeping it in mind as a possibility, but in my opinion, highly unlikely because we have not seen the FOMO zone. And the FOMO zone would heavily influence the significance of downside following any sort of price action in that range. A $200,000 Bitcoin would, I could very much anticipate an 84% correction from that all-time high. That would be far more likely, in my opinion. At the moment here, it is very possible that we have currently bottomed, and price action will likely kind of hold along these levels here. Yeah, accumulate here during times of extreme fear. Go, oh no, when Robo says there's FOMO. Entering the FOMO zone could lead to another 130% in gains if we consider that previous all-time high there. We still doubled and a half almost in value before exiting that FOMO zone range. So watch out for continued move to the upside, even though we are in the FOMO zone. Though any price above that range is going to be a bullish level to consider taking some profits here. But anyway, this has been Bitcoin. Let's look at XRP, actually, because XRP has been doing some things. Let's quickly consider it. I'm going to take off the Fear and Greed Index here because it was made for Bitcoin, and that is where you can get your best results from it. So now there's a variety of combinations of Robo advisors to use here, it would appear. So with this current combination of Robo advisors, the Buy 4, Moon, and Golden Cross in play, with this combination, you can see the Buy 4 and Moon suggesting an area of accumulation for your 50% EngineeringRobo based investment ratio on the 17th of September there, around 37 cents. Upon that confirmation, XRP proceeded to experience 49% in upside, and bullish Robos are still in play, currently sitting on 30% in gains at current price levels, as we look for support above previous resistance, 46 cents here down below. We've interacted with it delicately just yesterday. If daily candles open and close above this horizontal level with their wicks and bodies, we can further consider support here along this level, where you can invest your 20% support-based investment ratio. If you have yet to, following the channel all the way back in June here, we were looking out for this bullish interaction with 30 cents down below, though waiting for price action to return to this level before jumping into it. July would have been the opportunity to invest at my 30 cent support level here for XRP. We were considering 25 cents down below, though, as the more significant level to consider here, though 30%. Did I just forget how to speak English? Though 30 cents has become support here for us. Interacting upward to and through resistance with this combination of bullish Robos, though in my opinion, I've been following XRP with, I believe, this combination of Robo advisors. So technically, with my preferred combination of Robos here ever since the 20th of September. That is when EngineeringRobo entered a bullish state. Upon that confirmation, XRP proceeded to experience 35% in gains, still sitting on over 18.5% in gains on your EngineeringRobo based investment. And we can remain partially invested here until bearish Robos return. We're watching out for 2 of our chosen 3 Robo advisors entering a bearish state for us to begin more heavily reducing our positions, though always capitalizing on gains along the way here. 46 cents was where you could have capitalized on some profits since you've been buying near 30 cents. And 63 cents overhead, though, is going to be the next resistance level to consider in any sort of continued moves to the upside, which I do believe will likely play out, especially with bullish Robos in play and all of the fundamental going-ons with XRP. Though watch out for a very dramatic buy the rumor, sell the news type situation. We can see XRP pumping before any sort of significant news has occurred. If you start hearing about XRP through any sort of mainstream outlet, that could be a time to sell. Buy the rumor, sell the news. Though we go with the flows, as you know, fundamentals are completely different. Technically, we are looking for support confirmations, and we got bullish Robos in play, so watch out for continued gains and resistance along the way. That was XRP. What about XLM? Finding itself above its previous resistance level, looking for bullish confirmations of support, bouncing off of my mystical, magical box here that I visualized in a previous stream, though the combination of Robos we used were these ones. Okay. Okay, so with this combination of Robo advisors trading XLM during upside throughout 2020 into 2021, bullish Robo advisors allowed EngineeringRobo members to experience significant moves to the upside here, 172% in gains over 30 days, 214% in gains in about a month, 28% to the upside in 10 days, 32% pumps, significant moves to the upside here after bullish Robo advisors. Even during the downside, we've seen 22 and 60% pumps here, multiple 14% gains following bullish Robo advisors. During the downtrend, though, bearish Robos saving us from multiple 50% corrections. So at the moment here, with bullish Robos in play, we can anticipate anywhere from 14 to 60% in upside here moving forward, as we are still in the downtrend, in the bear market. Watch out for short-lived upside here. Watch out for exit pumps. Capitalize on these gains made in the short term. Though comparing previous bullish combinations coming into play during this range of sideways, we do see price action sort of finding resistance here overhead, perhaps 13 cents, an unlucky number, giving XLM a hard time at the moment. That has been significant resistance here for us. So hopefully we can get above that level, see some higher highs relative to it. We need daily candles opening and closing with wicks and bodies above this 11 cent support level. 0.1185 is still looking for bullish support confirmations. This current price action is nice to see, though, as I mentioned, we need wicks and bodies opening and closing above it to solidify support. And then you can consider investing your 20% support-based investment ratio. So watch out for continued bullish interaction along this level, and we can hope for bullish Robos to remain in play during this potential sideways. 2 of our chosen 3 Robo advisors re-entering a bullish state since the 22nd of September. So you can heavily consider investing your 50% EngineeringRobo based investment ratio. Though with bearish confirmations on Bitcoin, always consider Bitcoin here when trading other cryptocurrencies. If Bitcoin were to experience some downside, that would definitely affect all the other coins present. So if Bitcoin is in a bearish state, do not get too comfortable invested into various projects here, even with bullish robos here, because we have to go with the flow of the almighty Bitcoin. Sorry. But XLM here, looking for continued bullish interaction with hopefully support level soon to be confirmed. Bullish robos in play. Hopefully they hold. Watch out for this down trend line here waiting for us. That is resistance here currently. And yeah, that is XLM, 17 cents overhead. If we do solidify support and make our way upward past this downtrend line, 17 cents will be the horizontal level to consider as potential resistance. But that has been XLM, XRP. We could do Cardano. Cardano at resistance, newly visualized horizontal level, 46 cents, confirmed as resistance ever since the 19th of September there. You can reduce your support-based investment ratio previously suggested to be invested throughout the beginning of September here. We only invest 20% at support because sometimes these levels do not hold. We invest 50% based on our robo advisors, which have been attempting to print here during this downside. Sorry, I don't think this is the combination of robos I use. I think this is a combination. Yes. This is a combination of robo advisors I use to trade Cardano, and which hasn't given us significant moves to the upside here since all the way back in 2021, where EngineeringRobo members doubled and a half their investment on Cardano with EngineeringRobo. And so far, we've been saved from 67, 28, and 45% corrections that have occurred during this downside. So technically, Cardano in a slightly less than ideal state here. Perhaps continued moves to the downside to play out, especially with the significant bearish confirmations coming into play recently. Fundamentally, some other factors may come into play that could send us to the upside here, though technically, as I mentioned, watch out for continued support down below to be found. So going with the flow of bearish robos here trading Cardano, potential continued resistance along 46 cents could send us down to 40 cents here, visualized a little box of potential support that we can hope to hold and bounce along. Though down below 34 cents is going to be the stronger horizontal level to consider as support waiting for us in any sort of continued moves to the downside. But yeah, Cardano in a technically slightly unsightly bearish state, trading perhaps sideways until we can maybe free ourselves from this downtrend line. Ethereum. I think these are the robos that I go with. Okay. So Ethereum, interacting with my newly visualized mystical magical box of smelly socks and medium-sized rocks. So we have this zone visualized here near $1,200 per Ethereum. Holding along it is nice to see, though the strongest horizontal level waiting for us in any sort of continued downside will be $1,011 waiting for us. That is the technical level to consider. We can hope to hold along this visualized box, though, with bearish robos in mind. Technically, ever since the 19th of August there, you have been, you have already reduced your Ethereum investments, and you have not been eager to jump back into them. Because significant bearish robos are in play, and this buy for flip is nothing to scoff at, because we would need 2 bullish confirmations, and so this sell for returning accompanied with a super sell is slightly less than ideal for Ethereum. So watch out for continued sideways and or downside as we solidify support, hopefully along 1200. Watch out for 1400 overhead though as resistance here currently. But this has been Bitcoin, XRP, XLM, Ethereum, Cardano. Give me one moment here to go over some things, but please feel free to suggest any possible thing you'd like to see in today's stream or upcoming videos, any coin, company, or commodity, or an index, anything at all. But one moment, please, while I sip my tasty beverage. Okay. Thank you for your patience. We're back here looking at cryptocurrencies currently. We could do some of the indexes, look at some of the broad markets here. Oh, what's going on? It would appear. I'm not too sure which robos are used for the S&P anymore. What the absolute heck? I think it was the Golden Cross. Yeah, pretty sure. It was the Buy for a Moon and Cross. In play looking at the S&P 500. We're interacting downward here. Watch out for potential resistance to be confirmed, 38.12. That is going to be an overhead level to consider as this sell for attempts to return with this weekly candle. It needs to close to confirm this sell suggestion, though bearish robos have been in mind ever since February of this year, so you have not been eager to jump into the S&P at all. We are waiting for bullish buy confirmations similar to back in May of 2020, where EngineeringRobo members proceeded to experience 55% in gains on the S&P 500 and have been saved from, so far, 16% in downside that has occurred. So lots going on for the S&P. We technically, locally here, if we were to get super technical, continue to find support along this, really magical, mystical box of physically nothing. This is the last hope for the S&P 500 is 36.36 to 36.80. It's a very good, very small range here of potential support here for us. If not, 32.36 or 29.52 down below is waiting for us. The Dow Jones at support at the moment, apparently, potentially 29.373 as support here for us. I forgot to activate the 200 weekly moving average. That suggests a perhaps more broad, longer lifetime uptrend intact here for the economy, the American economy. Hopefully support can be found down below, though watch out for stronger horizontal level to consider, 26.306 if downside were to continue. The NASDAQ, I'm not too sure if this chart is still broken. Bullish robos in play ever since the 25th of July, though significant resistance from my downtrend line could push us back into a bearish state. Watch out down below 45.23, correlating with the 200 weekly moving average at the moment. Oh wow, the DXY still continuing to make itself to make some moves to the upside here. It would appear we've been following this index as it has an inverse correlation with asset prices. So as the DXY increases, Bitcoin, if you will, decreases. The bullish confirmations for the DXY have been in play ever since July of 2021 for EngineeringRobo members. But if we were to imagine November of 2021, that's like right here roughly, that was the all-time high for Bitcoin. And so as you can see, since November of last year, DXY has increased in value while Bitcoin has decreased in value. So once the DXY finally tops here, potentially near key level 119 overhead, once some significant resistance has been confirmed for the DXY and it starts to make some downside here, then we can see gains across various asset classes. So bullish robos in play. We're plowing to and through resistance levels. Watch out for sell suggestions to return. Then we can get more bullish on asset prices. Gold, however, though, falling downward here, as I mentioned. So as the DXY pumps, asset prices fall. Gold here experiencing downside, falling beneath its 200 weekly moving average and below previous support, watching out for resistance confirmations of overhead level 1680, down below 1572, waiting for us along the way toward 1486. Bearish robos in play, saving you from over 8% in downside here so far. We are waiting for bullish robos to return here and significant support to form before jumping back into gold. What other metals to consider? Copper. I know someone has been asking me about copper at one point. Doodly doo. I think this is the combination I used for copper. I don't remember. Something. September. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, copper returning to its 200 weekly moving average. We've been looking for interaction with this pretty much ever since July. We've been saying sideways, watch out for continued moves with it, from it, toward it, at it. Though down below, horizontal level to consider, 2.97. Bearish robos in mind, though, for us ever since, technically, ever since the 13th of June there, and we've been saved from over 21% in downside so far. We need bullish robos to return for us to begin getting back in more comfortably and confidently, or significant support to form. Fighting with this 200 weekly moving average is slightly less than ideal. Hopefully we can get back above it, though. At the moment, watch out for continued sideways and or downside for copper. There's what is this, platinum? We can do a quick look at platinum. Bearish robos back in play ever since April here. We're below the 200 weekly moving average, above support though, 821 down below. Hopefully we can hold. Palladium fighting with its 200 weekly moving average with bearish robos present. Support down below 1541. We need bullish robos to return. Hopefully we can hold this moving average. Silver finding resistance overhead off of 19.81. That is going to be a level we need to get back above and reconfirm as support here. We also have the 200 weekly moving average above as well. Not too ideal for us. Bearish robos in play ever since May. So watch out for continued moves to the downside. $13.72 could be support for us. But But unless anyone has anything they'd like to see analyzed, any sort of a company, coin, commodity they'd like to see on the screen, we can go over that. If not, we will probably wrap it up here. We've done a whole bunch of cryptos. We've done some commodities, some indexes. Um, but yeah, let me know if you'd like to see any sort of stocks or other cryptos trending at the moment. I'm going to sip my hot chocolate, and then we will get to the outro. Okay. Alrighty. Well, this has been coins, companies, commodities here in the economy on the Engineering Robo channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for being a part of the stream. We appreciate you stopping by. Hope you had a good time. Hope all went well. Hope you found this helpful, beneficial, informative. We're going to be back here before you know it to do it all over again. As I've been mentioning, let me know down below anything you'd like to see in upcoming streams or videos. We can do it all here with Engineering Robo. You can sign up for Engineering Robo for free with the links in the description. Check out all the other social medias as well. Algorithmically, got to ask you to drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We really appreciate you stopping by. We hope to see you in the next one. And good day, good morning, good night, and good evening.